Hello and welcome to Quit or Continue, the video games podcast that pokes a finger in the eye of the games that waste your time. I'm Mike Plant, your host. This is Andy Loughlin. This is Jack Turner. And this is Dave Whiteman.
Hello.
We're here to talk about games in what is quite possibly, but I've done no research to prove otherwise, the first video games book club. Last time we did Wolfenstein: The New Order. This time we're doing Alien Isolation. So
that was dramatic.
That was very dramatic.
Yeah.
What do we think? What do we think? Well, ironically, actually, I wanted to start the podcast.
Did you?
Excuse my props.
Excuse your.
Listen.
This is gold video.
We're playing a YouTube video to the internet. We didn't realise how stupid.
It's the sounds.
You guys suck. That is like the intro to Alien Isolation when it starts, and I've got to say it sets the tone for the game. Discuss. Go.
Can I start? Because I picked this game last week. I was really adamant we should play this game, and then so when we're playing the game, we try not to talk about it because we try and save everything for the podcast.
We do that really successfully. There's like a stream of email.
We're terrible. So basically, pretty much every night an email will go around with someone saying, "Oh, this bit was rubbish," or
it's because you're such a gossip, though, isn't it?
I am a massive gossip. Never tell me anything.
Yeah. That secret I told you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But so with this game, I felt really guilty because people were saying, "What the hell is going on?"
Well, yeah.
You know, and I thought, I've basically, because this is a long game. I reckon this game probably takes 15 to 20 hours to play through.
I disagree, because I'm shit at it. Because every time I was reading about, I did that, how long does this game take? And it said about 15 hours. I thought, 15 hours, that's all right, 15 hours. And then on one mission, I took 2.5 hours, and there's 18 missions. I'm thinking, I know that's not on average, but I think I would have put in about 30 hours, nearer 30 hours.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hiding. I think I probably spent 15 hours in a cupboard.
Easily.
In the game.
All my life in the cupboard.
This is like the game.
In the game.
It's like the game version of being Terry Waite in Iraq.
It's a lovely.
It was in
Terry
Iraq,
Waite.
wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's what he would have wanted.
Yeah. You are like, you can't leave your radiator and you're having a shit time. But
I'm not comfortable with that analogy.
Should we explain for a moment that in the game you will get chased by an alien and you will end up in a cupboard?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should discuss the premise of the game.
time.
So it really isn't. It's put as a first person, but it's not first person shooter. It's a first person survival horror game. The idea is to survive, and it really is emphasis on that survival aspect. Actually, there's nothing. There's no real kind of you're trying to kill anyone or you're trying to defeat anything. I mean, you can, but the aspect is really just survive and hide from everything.
It becomes a series of chores to survive.
Basically, you play as an electrician who goes around the ship, turning power on.
Pretty badass one though.
That'll cost you.
the worst porno ever made.
I've come to fix your space station. So basically, so the setup of the game is you play as Ellen Ripley's daughter, whose name escapes me, but let's call her Faye Ripley. And she wants to.
I will find out and get back to you.
What was her name?
I can't remember.
Amanda.
And she wants to find out what happened to her mum 15 years previously because she's lost contact with her on the Nostromo.
Could have got the DVD, by the way. But
Yeah, she could have done. It's like, what, £3 on Amazon?
In space, nobody has DVD players.
There's a flight, the Nostromo flight recorder is on this space station that you go to, and you spend most of the game trying to track down this flight recorder.
Which just happens to be orbiting the planet of Alien, the movie.
Yeah. LV something.
Neptune.
Planet Neptune, that's right. But personally, I didn't have any interest in the story. But I don't know if that's because I knew where Ripley was.
I think
she was floating in space.
The kind of overriding thing about this game is, I think we'll search for a long time to find a game which is so much a quit and a continue at the same time. It's just absolute polar opposites in itself. You know, there's things which you just mind-meltingly frustrating about it, and there's things which are just like, I don't think there are. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel, but I don't think there's been an Alien game which feels so authentic in the presentation,
That's what wins it
in
for
the
me.
style. And yeah, the story's a bit bollocks.
Oh,
but
the story is utter shite.
Yeah.
I really think.
well, there isn't really.
Well,
There isn't. That's it. There isn't a story. But then again, that didn't really matter when it came down to it. I think
the feel of the game, it
Yeah.
just feels so authentic. I mean, I read a quote from one of the producers, and they kind of themed it just on all things that would be made in the 70s. So you'll see like
like
retro,
Alien the movie,
retro calculators and like those little nodding. Oh, what those things do?
Oh,
like
They
bird
could. What
thing.
Homer sets up on the keyboard to press
Exactly,
the OK.
Yeah. And
Yes.
you've got like this feel of this kind of just really intricate, and the art style is absolutely incredible, isn't
But
it?
there's no game that looks more like the Alien universe that's ever been made. It's stunning, and for me, that's why. Even though I hated the game, I kind of loved it as well because it's the nearest thing I feel we'll ever get to extending the Alien universe in the way I want it to be extended. Prometheus was obviously, and it feels like it's the first Alien thing to properly take the series somewhere in a way that I'm just like,
definitely.
wow, this is pretty awesome.
I mean, I would. I think the greatest kind of like description of this game, it's like walking around an art gallery while someone periodically kicks you in the balls. You go, oh, nice picture, ow!
Yeah.
Oh, nice picture, ow! Stop kicking me in the balls. That's really annoying, but it doesn't stop.
But without the odd kick in the balls, would it be as
you
good as
see
it?
a lovely picture.
Well,
you know,
but
and you're
would
like,
you though? 'Cause you get
"Oh."
bored of it. Well, I'm not saying I don't get kicked in the balls, but you know what I'm saying.
Well,
Though,
obviously
you
you
need.
don't get really in the game.
I think in a
kicked the
video game though,
balls.
there are a few exceptions where you don't get anything that happens to you, like Gone Home or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
there are a few exceptions to the rule of flower, but on the whole, us gamers are a strange breed who demand something does come along and kick us in the balls every now and again.
Yeah, but there's ways to be kicked in the balls, isn't there? You know, this game, it feels like it's giving me a cheap kick in the balls. It's a not. I'm not looking in the playground, run. Oh, take that! Haha, you're falling over.
When's the last time someone kicked you in the balls in a playground? I think it might have been justified.
If I wasn't there, then technically yes, I shouldn't be in the playground.
Yeah.
I'm not a paedophile, guys. I just want to put that out there.
Oh
I am
God,
quite
we've gone there again.
Hang on, so okay, you're fine.
I am quite litigious
move on,
myself,
move
so
on,
I will sue
move on.
myself.
All right.
Right. So, like, you know, it's the. I think it's. You touched on it earlier about the mix of stealth and action, and I think they've gone one way, they've gone the other way, and they've ended up in the middle, and you end up with this kind of hashed thing, which isn't a kind of Telltale Walking Dead style game where you're using your brains and you're doing kind of stealth actions and you're kind of interacting with survivors on there. It isn't kind of a full out action game, so you're underpowered constantly. So you end up in this middle grey area where you're kind of constantly reaching for kind of the real solution to what you're doing.
Well, actually, I kind of think on some level, when they made the game and gave you these tools to use, that added to the idea that giving you that chance of survival, and that made that, because every time you got something new, that did make it a little bit more exciting to sort of go, well, maybe I can take a step further and maybe I can do something to sort of get past the alien or whatever it was. And there was something like that I remember just as soon as I got the flamethrower in the game, I was just instantly like, right, okay, I'm back in this game and I'm a bit more interested, because before that there was nothing I could do about the alien. And I felt like most of my time was in a cupboard, and that was getting boring. So as soon as they gave me a flamethrower, I thought, well, I don't have to stand in the cupboard so much anymore, because I can at least try and flame this alien in the face. So yeah, and I think there was that element of like
Stand in a cupboard.
You actually get a trophy for flamethrowing the alien, don't you? It's actually like unlocks trophy.
The thing is, it would be great if like you could see like Amanda Ripley's face of just like, she's not scared, she's just really annoyed, sitting in a cupboard. For fuck's sake, when's this guy going to piss off?
That's why the alien keeps looking at you all the time.
That's the thing.
my God.
So you hide in a cupboard, and then at one point I hid under a bed or something. The alien walked into the room, walked around the room, walked out again. I thought, okay, I can crawl out now. Then it came back in, walked around the room again, walked out. It just kept going in and out. And it's like a sort of like elderly relative who'd forgotten where to put their reading glasses.
Yeah.
Did I put them in here? Oh, no. And I was there literally 5 minutes just thinking, I might actually just be killed just so I can start Because this is really boring.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? And this thing is like the ultimate predator. It stomps around like the woman who lives upstairs from me, who is annoying, and I would have the alien live with me.
Be careful what you say on the.
Only 2 episodes in already, you're putting the boot in.
Oh, come on! Actually, the alien is softer on the ground, and Anyway, that's not going to happen.
I would say the alien's scarier when it's not walking around and it's actually in the vents.
Yeah.
When it's a suggestion of it.
Actually, I disagree. Actually, the suggestion thing though, that's true. I think when I couldn't see the alien, I could only hear the alien.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. And the stomping, I actually thought was brilliant. I mean, I mainly played this game with headphones on, so I've got newborn baby, can't wake him up, so I'm forced to wear headphones, and it was amazing. That made a massive difference. So the stomping. And even though I think to myself, I know I'm going to die, I was running from the alien. I could hear the stomping.
Did you not see the low screens? You cannot run from the alien. It tells you.
The thing is, but I did. I did at one point.
You?
I did manage to run from the alien.
Because every time it was behind me, or I thought, well, I just won't bother running because it was catch up with me. Because that's my experience every time. So as soon as I saw it, I thought, okay, fine. You've got me.
Yeah.
And then
the problem you've got is this is supposed to be the ultimate predator, and every time it turned up after the first few times I saw it, I was just like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared. I was just like, oh god, this guy's
It's
back
overused,
again.
isn't it?
I tell you what though, when the alien was first introduced, that moment where he jumps down that thing, you see the tail go round, and then there's that whole mission. I think you've got to naturally go get some kind of key card and then type. But you have to
undo a computer key code and then go and get a passkey.
Yeah, so it's some kind of bullshit like that. But you do have to get a code and type it into this door, and then. But the alien is still around whilst you're still trying to type this code of the door, and that was really exciting. And then, of course, you type the code of the door opens, the alien's fucking there. It's why did I go in the vents?
Yeah, it's
I don't need to get any of these codes.
And there's a mission where you're kind of sealing off the stairwell. I'm like, okay, I'm sealing off the stairwell. But he comes in through the fucking vents. I mean, the alien's I've sealed off all the doors, and the doors come down, and then the alien pops through the ceiling, and I'm like, this isn't going to work,
That first proper mission, before you saw the alien, was anyone else creeping around?
I was really scared.
The whole first part of it creeping up. And then I
think I was
thought,
creeping, but that was because of the tension, the music and stuff like that. And I think the feel of it was basically, you don't need to run around, you sort of just take it in. And I think it was really, I actually thought that was so well done.
Yeah, it's like the intro of any Half-Life 2 or whatever. It's it's what you want to soak it in, don't you? That's how great the start of this game is. It's amazing. It looks so good. It's so enticing. The atmosphere is perfect.
But they ultimately, I think, the times when the alien is there is the least fun in this game.
Yeah.
And that, for a game called Alien Isolation, is a bit of an issue, isn't it, really?
Well, I mean, I actually think they were trying to make it extremely difficult when they made it, because I think even when the game went out, they said, play it on hard. You should play it on hard. And I'm fucking out. I mean, I didn't even try it on hard. I barely did medium for
Cheese grater your face.
I know. It was just I think maybe to begin with, if you played it on hard, that would be a bit exciting. But it is just that kind of relentless dying and dying, and the tension just withers away. And as soon as you lose the tension, it becomes an annoying game. And I think that was its biggest problem.
There's no suspense. So basically, the first few times you meet the alien, you think, oh crikey, that's quite exciting. And then after that, so for me, every time I approached a long corridor, I thought by the time I get to the end of this corridor, the alien will be somewhere around. And so you're walking down the corridor now thinking, well, the alien's going to be here any second. And he's with you for most of the game.
Yeah.
It's like a sort of 80s...
the world's worst dog.
It's like a sort of 80s buddy cop, missing comedy. You and the alien, because he's always with you. And so in the middle of the game, there's a patch where he's absent completely. And for me, those are the best moments of the game. Those are the most tense because I was waiting for him to reappear.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I think because you're right, they had the alien out too much. Yeah, they needed to use him a bit more wisely.
Overused toy. Wasn't it?
That's
we were saying off camera that basically what they should have done is a few more of those scare moments where the alien comes into it but is fleetingly in it and out again. But they don't. They do that once when there's the first reveal of the alien being there.
Yeah.
And then they don't use that trick again for ages, basically. And I think they should have used the trick rather than just go, no, there's an alien just wandering around like a drunkard. Like,
he does look pissed, doesn't he? He's like, whoa! He's like an angry Scottish guy who's just come back from the pub. And
the amazing Spaceballs thing with the top hat and the cane dancing across.
That's the second episode where we slagged off Scottish people.
We don't have anything against Scottish people. We are glad you're still.
Can we not focus on? We can at least say Glaswegian or something.
Yeah,
got renowned.
He's an angry, generic nation, pissed up guy. Doesn't have to be Scotland.
Let's move on, shall we? I want to talk about the save system because it sucks. I've written it in letters, so it must be true.
What is she doing?
Let me say what my problem with the save system is that you can go a good chunk of 20 minutes of frustration of sat in a cupboard to then get all the way through the section to only then get a cheap kill at the end by the alien just coming down out of a vent and grabbing you. Or something like that, and you're like, well, I've just lost 30 minutes of my life that I'm now going to have to go through again.
See, I actually disagree. I think I do think the save system was good for the game. I did. Well, I liked it. I liked it in the sense that it added to the game rather than took away. Because I kind of feel like it was annoying at times. You had that thing where you think you got so close to the next chapter. I know certainly towards the end, I was right by this next save point. I was coming through the vent and the alien got me. And I thought that was really bloody annoying. However, if that save system wasn't there and you knew that the checkpoint would have been much closer and all that hiding in the cupboard and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter because you can just get through it. There's no way you'd spend so much time hiding and so much time trying to do that survival thing. Because you just think, well, I'll just go back to that save point and I can run through again. And I think that the reason why that was there was to keep that, it's again to make the tension worthwhile and make it something.
But it goes back to Resident Evil, doesn't it? It's that kind of style.
Yeah, but there's a fine balance. I don't think this game gets it.
But I
think it hits you over the head. And also, I've got a real problem with I'm wandering about and I'm like, and then suddenly there's a payphone and I'm jamming.
Emergency, hello.
Who am I calling? Just calling the alien. Hey, where are you?
I never questioned that, but you're totally right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm on the deck.
She's sort of
He's like, I'm coming, And then it just felt really forced. I'm in the bit where you're in the hives and you. There's like a payphone there. It just feels really odd. What am I giving 3 rings? I'm in the hive. It's all right.
I've got to say, I don't know how. I'm not a games developer. I don't know how they would get. I can't think of a valid way, a reasonable way to get around it. The problem is that, like Dave says, they wanted the atmosphere of hiding and hoping that you're going to get to the next point. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, I've just hidden for 40 minutes and then it's got me from
Yeah, but I think that's more of a problem with how often the payphones come about in certain sections. Because there were times where I was thinking, I feel like I've done, like you say, about half an hour, 40 minutes, and I haven't saved the game, and I can't save the game. And so now I'm going to be angry if I now die, rather than the excitement of getting to the next payphone and calling it a payphone.
The game becomes like a series of journeys to get to the next payphone. Check in.
It's kind of like a horrible triathlon.
there were totally times in the game where I would sort of get to the next checkpoint and then go back to the previous save.
Backtrack.
I'll go back 5 minutes and save just so I know I've cleared this bit.
I do that all the time.
But also, I found the save system really annoying. And the first thing that really surprised me about it was when I got in a lift and went down several floors, and I was on that floor for 20 minutes, didn't save, and I got killed. I thought, well, it was probably dump me at the lift. Because normally in a game, normally in a game, if you sort of progress,
sometimes it does a loading screen as well, doesn't it?
Sometimes it does though. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, sometimes it does autosave. Like if you're,
you look for the icon, don't
you? The little table.
Yeah, it does say at the beginning.
The game's like, haha, no.
Yeah, so if you start a new chapter, it saves there, but it wasn't always that clear, so sometimes it would autosave, and then if you took a lift down to another level, normally in any other game, I'd think, okay, it's going to save here automatically. But it didn't, and that was really frustrating. But to its credit, one thing I will say is at one point, because I never know with these things whether it's an age thing, right? Because apart from Dave, none of us are spring chickens.
Speak for yourself.
I don't feel like a spring chicken.
No. But these days, an autumn chicken. But these days, the time I have to play games is precious, and so I can't afford to spend half an hour doing something and just have my progress completely wiped, and that really frustrates me. But I think like 20 years ago, I'd have been a lot more forgiving of that kind of system.
To liken it to a book, it'd be like reading for an hour, and then somehow you can't read on until you've read that passage again for another hour, and until I'm like in a mental institution somewhere, that's not going to be the case for me. But with games, you're expected to kind of do this kind of.
But you don't need to.
It assumes you've got some memory loss, and it's
But part of the problem is, yeah, I can appreciate it's more authentic experience if you have to manually save, but there's a problem with that because if you get killed, you know exactly what's coming up. So there were several parts where so you can just breeze through it. So it's a lot faster, but there's no suspense because you think, okay, there's going to be an android here, the alien will come out here, I've got to get to here, I know exactly what I'm doing, so why are you making me do it again? From like 20 minutes previous. And also, just one other thing on the save system, there was a point halfway through the game where I was halfway through saving, and I got, because the alien kills you.
Yeah, well, it does that on
ways.
purpose. Because it tells you sometimes that there's enemies nearby. So you're taking your.
But you do take a risk by saving when it's. Because you're right. It says enemies nearby, but I thought, screw it. I've just spent 20 minutes pissing about. So I was saving. I was halfway through the save, and the alien basically crept up on me and put its tail through my stomach.
As it does.
Massive long animation of me dying at the phone booth.
Just rubbing it in.
Exactly. And so there's only one save, isn't there? You can't have multiple saves. So I thought, if this has cocked up my save, this is halfway through. I thought I'm not playing this game. I cannot be bothered to play this game. But luckily, it dumped me back where I'd saved, and the alien was like miles away. So I do appreciate that. That was quite.
But I mean, this wouldn't be such an issue if you had more options. I mean, this is a sort of semi-action game, but like so much stuff kills you instantly. Whether it's the alien, whether it's the Joey Deacons, whether it's the
what are they called? Working Joes.
That's an old joke.
Which it's no spoiler to say there are bad androids in an alien thing.
I mean, this game is the only game that I think will ever have me say the phrase, "Shit, there's two Joeys in there." That's an old reference to anybody who watched Blue Peter.
Yeah, that's a very, very small portion of the audience.
What do we think of the Working Joes as you mentioned them? Because let me say again. Basically, there was a point in the game where it takes your guns off you, it takes all your stuff off you, and then it leaves you with a few things. You get Molotov cocktails, you get pipe bombs, and a few other things like EMP grenades. And it's like you suddenly feel a bit kitted up, and you're like, and you've got like shotguns and all this kind of crap at this point. And then you go through, and there's a certain section of the game that takes it off you, and you go, but it's left you with like all these nice bombs and. And then you go in there's these Working Joes, which are the evil androids who've been took over by the computer, as happens in every single alien movie.
Which I kind of like in a way.
And you like the Working Joe. Let me finish my point and then we'll get on to it. And then what happens is that you get presented with these ones wearing hazmat suits, and you try to blow them up with a pipe bomb, but somehow they're invulnerable to a pipe bomb now because they've got a hazmat suit. And I'm like, I've just wasted. And they're quite hard to make. It takes a lot of resources.
It's an anorak as well, isn't it?
It's just an anorak.
It's a cagoule.
And I'm like, so it's not only gone from adding the alien, it's added these bloody irritating androids who are also now invulnerable to thing. And it's only in a little section, but it just did my nutting for that section.
That is so gamey. Like, it's just like, oh, here's a character, here's an enemy from earlier on, but now they're slightly harder. And then take two shotgun blasts.
But they don't tell you they're going to be, so I wasted all my bloody Molotov cocktails, this, that, and the other. And all it gives you is a little like line saying, some Working Joe. I think they actually talk, don't they? They say, I am invincible to fire, or something like that. My wings are like a shield of steel.
If you introduce them to a woman, though, they collapse. They just go, can I compute?
The Working Joes, I found them creepy. They were really creepy.
Yeah. It's good.
I really like them on that score. The way that they go, I'm here to help, and you're like,
and they were more creepy when they were nice. When they were nasty, you got to think, there's a nasty one. I'll just hide from him. But the nice ones, you're thinking, oh, is he going to just? Is he suddenly going to flip or something?
That's true, because they have like red eyes, and then they look down at you, and you're like, whoa.
And actually, that's a trick I think they missed. They should have done that. They had like a nice Working Joe, and you maybe get on with, or you're using at some point, and then just turns.
You do use one of them at some point.
But he doesn't turn nasty. I think if he turned nasty, then that would have been a kind of like that. Then there puts a kind of tension between all the nice Working Joes, because you're now not sure if they're going to be nice or nasty. But throughout the nice ones, you just kind of think, that's a nice working Joe. I can run
But
past him.
that's a good point. Knowing who's nice and who's naughty, like this is sort of Father Christmas.
It is the time of year to be merry.
So on this space station, so when it's loading between missions, it gives you a little blurb that says, and one of them is, be careful who you trust, for whatever reason, I can't remember why. Not everyone is friendly. And
What the fuck? No one's friendly.
well, that's the thing.
Even the humans are like little swines to you, aren't they? Like, no, you come across no one who's nice.
I think it says approach with caution, but every time you walk into a room, so human enemies are quite rare in this game, but you walk into a room, there'd be a group of them, and you think, okay, are you nice or not? They'd be talking to each other. You'd walk in, and they go, there she is, shoot her in the face. Actually, more often than not, they'd say...
They don't show you what Ellen Ripley looks like, though. She might be an absolute, like, she might be literally like,
She
look
might
like...
have an alien mask on. But I didn't think this through. So more often than not, actually, what they say is you'd better back off. So you start back off and they just shoot you dead. Or there was one point where I just walked into a room with some people there. I flamethrowed a lot of them. They all died. And I got a game over because they're my buddies.
Yeah, no. I had not quite the same thing, but there was a guy who was like security'd up, and he was basically just shooting at me. Didn't even wonder who I was. He's just going clearing everyone out, and I killed him. And then there was this other person comes up on the little monitor, and I was like, right, that's it, you fucking
Yeah.
killed them. Game over. That was a civilian. I thought, what?
I know a civilian.
Yeah, what the hell is this?
There are some that cower. I didn't kill them because I felt sorry for them.
No, I killed them. Right, the menu screen told me not to trust anyone. Absolutely.
Well, I feel like in this so-called next generation of gaming as well, can you not go up to them and go, there's an alien, all these evil androids. Do you want a gun? Do you want to come and join me?
This is what I was talking about with the fact that I think this game has really missed a trick because actually it's gone down that action road. It didn't need to. And actually when it should have gone was down that Telltale Games, that Walking Dead, where you're actually building a kind of a way through this world. And actually you could do that through talking. I'm totally the same. I mean, when I got to the humans, I was so annoyed that I killed every single one. I went out of my way to destroy, and I just pipe bombed. You were all gonna die because I couldn't kill this stupid fucking alien who's clumping around like an OAP, a stupid pie. You're like my next door. Anyway, but like, I was like, right, you guys are gonna get it in the neck for this. And actually, when I was thinking, I look back on him in a sea of bodies, I thought, we probably could have worked that out, and it would have been nice to work that out.
Teamed up a little bit and sorted this thing out.
That first moment where you first meet the hostile humans, that is really difficult because you've got no experience of fighting humans.
Yeah, I got killed. That. It almost took me off the game, that bit. It's right at the start.
Oh, well, you were like, you have to like hook around the stairs.
I killed them. You know what I did? Spoiler alert. You know what I did?
It's on the third mission.
There was a pillar, and I hid behind the pillar, stuck my head out, and one by one they came up to me and I clubbed them over the head with the wrench. There was a pile of bodies.
It's like whack-a-mole.
One by one, they were in a queue, and one by one they walked up to me and I just clubbed them.
I don't remember this bit.
I must admit there was a similar bit where it was quite late. Like about 14, I think it was about 13 or 14, and there was this vent, and all the Joes got around a little circle of Joes, and they just sat there in the vent. They couldn't get down there, and shot them in the head. And like, I got out, and there was just a big stack of Joes.
I feel like you guys were less stealthy than me because I was never in that situation.
Oh, very dare you, sir.
There we go. I can take them out one by one.
I was
just like bang.
Yeah, I spent pretty much the whole time creeping around on my knees.
Yeah, it's very slow, isn't it? You go. And then if you put any pace into it, the alien just goes boom onto the floor, and you're like, oh, I'm going to die now, aren't I?
I think that's my problem with this game. I can't play stealthy. I just can't.
Well, I can play stealthy
work
on the right game. I think I'll go back to The Last of Us. I could play stealthy in The Last of Us, and that did mix stealth and action.
Yeah.
But it did it the right. I think it felt like it did it in the right way. Whereas I don't really feel like you were saying before, the action side, that maybe they shouldn't have gone the action side at all.
I think that's the kind of thing you feel that there is actually, in a sense, a kind of something that's broken inside this. Don't give me a gun, don't give me all these weapons, because unless you're going to let me have options, i.e., like when a working Joe comes at me and attacks me, let me back off and then crack him in the head, because you can't do that.
Yeah, you don't hit him though, but they catch your
thing, and you feel like this is this game is rigged against me. So why are you giving me these weapons at all? Because ultimately you've rigged the game for how you want me to play it.
Yeah, until you get the shotgun, you can't take down the Joes very easily.
But weapons are quite scarce. That's just actually weapons aren't scarce, but the ammo is scarce. But
I would rather there wasn't even weapons at all.
But one thing I do have to give this game credit for is the. I say credit. Well, I'll get onto the crafting system in a minute because I hate crafting in games. I think it's pointless. But you can basically make devices to distract the alien. So if you walk into a room and there's like 4 people there, you can make a noise maker, chuck it out there, it'll make a big noise, and the alien will come in and kill everyone in the room. And that was really quite cool, actually.
Yeah. I wish they'd have let you make more creative things, like a little mouse or something. Flees off of like making squeaky noises, and the alien pounces on it like a something like that.
Okay. Like a robo mouse.
I don't know, something else, like make a little drone, like a Star Wars.
I'd rather get the suit from Wolfenstein, you know, that gives them the disabled lady, and just be like, come on then, alien, I'm going to knock the fucking shit out of you.
That is what happens in Aliens, I suppose.
But in terms of...
why did that not happen?
But it's different director.
In terms of...
bloody Cameron.
All right, we'll save that for another podcast. Right. In terms of... oh God, what the hell was I going to say? You really put me off with your James Cameron comment. Crafting.
I hope he's not litigious.
I can't stand crafting in games, especially with this one. I thought I'm on a space station. I'm not hunting around for scrap like Stig of the Dump. just why can I not find the flare? Why? And also, it's
not just a space station. It's massive, isn't it? It's not Robot Wars. It is a huge city.
You have to summon a train, like a transit, to come from, and it takes ages to be able to spin up, and you're waiting there smoking a cigar. Eventually, it turns up. And then you get in it and it takes you somewhere else. And then the second you get out there, the alien's back. So like, what has it jumped on the back and ridden it?
I couldn't believe that they never used that. Every time I was waiting for the tram or whatever it was.
You thought it was going to be in the tram?
Yeah, every time I thought, well, they'll be missing.
With its suitcase and its cane. Hey!
A little cap. I thought they'll be missing the trick if it's not in the tram. And it never was. That really surprised me.
They also, like in Aliens...
I do agree, but wouldn't that be funny though, this alien just comes off a tram.
Aliens, it does establish that in the history of the movies, in Aliens, it does take the lift at some point at the end.
Yeah, you're right.
So they can use public transport.
Well, he must have pushed the button in the lift. That's
McDonald's.
That's a good point. I actually, over the weekend, I watched the first 2 films again, just for reference, because I'm that dedicated to our podcast.
That's very good.
Yeah.
So one of the problems with the game is it doesn't build suspense because the alien is always on your shoulder. Yeah. So when you go, after playing this game, if you go back and watch the first film, you can see that whoever built the Nostromo obviously built the space station the game's based on, because it's exactly the same.
Yeah, same layout.
Even Faye Ripley's watch is exactly the same as Ellen Ripley's watch.
Yeah, maybe she had it because she knew it and remembered it from childhood. What I would say is it's not built by the same company, is it? Because Wayland Yutani built the ship, the Nostromo.
Yeah, Nostromo.
Yeah. But they didn't build, because Seegson Corporation
they're
built
ripping them off then, because it's exactly.
Yeah, but that's because the games developers have gone, you know what we should do? We should copy the style of the first one exactly, and then they took it a bit too far, maybe. Although I do love it.
The point I was going to make was, in the first film, the alien doesn't appear like for an hour.
Yeah.
Right, and then it's probably got like 20 minutes screen time tops.
That's totally it. You actually become. I got to the point where I spent so much time with the alien. I was thinking like, why is it so angry? You know, like I was trying to psychoanalyze it. I was like, why is it so angry?
Like a teenage goth.
I was just wandering around thinking like, it's not going to eat me.
That would be good if you could reason with it through your microphone. Don't do it.
It's like, you know, what was it like with your parents?
You've got serious mother issues.
Is there something you want to talk about? And it's just like, and a little mouth comes out, and a little mouth's crying as well.
Drooling.
Tears. It's like, oh, it really hurts.
Funnily enough,
like, well, you fucking idiot.
In Alien itself, the movie, when at the end of it, when you see the alien a bit more, that is actually when it ceases to be as scary, because you see it and it looks a bit turd.
It's the same with Jaws, isn't it? It's all that kind of stuff. You're the biggest, the scariest parts when you can't see it.
Can I just say one thing about gameplay that fucked me off royally?
You can, because we're talking about things of that ilk.
This is a podcast about games.
I didn't realise that. restore power.
Nothing's powered on in the space station.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
How much of basically 70% of this game is restoring power? It's like we are electrician, and like we've come to say, okay, you've got a problem with your space station. Have you tried to turn it off and on again? That's basically what you do. You turn the space station off and on again repeatedly.
Three of the puzzles, I quite like the puzzles on the terminals. Are you about to say you hated the puzzles on the terminals?
I did. They were all okay, apart from the one that was like a sort of golf game on the NES.
Oh, that was irritating. You had to stop it on the bits.
That was really frustrating.
I thought the whole bit was a bit pointless. The only thing that would have made that useful,
but it feels like the film, although they don't do the puzzles in the film, but it does feel like you're using the same monitors.
That would have been such a crap film. Right, to access the computer, I've got to play this game of Sudoku. Right, what's 3 threes? Shit!
Ding, ding, ding.
There's that really weird one where there's like some numbers at the top, and so you just have to match the numbers to the ones at the bottom by pressing left a bit, and then you press
that was way too easy.
Yeah.
But I like the retro feel of those games. Like it looks like an old like BBC
that's some style and design stuff. I just kind of thought that there was no real point to them. I thought it's just another thing. So let me go on to this point. Is that it just felt like they were constantly trying to slow you down. They were trying to make this slower and trying to make this more of a full game.
It's because Alien can get you though, can't it? When you're looking at these things.
It can, but there weren't enough situations where the alien did get you during that. The amount of times I died just from going from one room to another, but when I was actually playing the little games, I felt, well, I don't feel that scared because the alien's fucked off somewhere else.
Yeah. But did anyone die at a terminal? Because I died
at a terminal, actually.
I died at a save point.
Same as a save point, tail comes through your chest and then it kind of gets...
But the only reason why I died at the terminal is because I'd logged into the terminal, then my thing started going haywire, and I was like, right, get off the terminal. No, get off the terminal. And she's up there waiting to load up the terminal screen. I'm thinking, no, don't load up the terminal screen. Just fucking hide under the desk. But you couldn't tell her to do that because she was like waiting for I'll do this first. Don't worry about the alien. He's got plenty. There's plenty of time. But then I got got a thing through the chest.
But like that kind of shows you the game, doesn't it? Because it feels very restrictive. It feels very, I'm being kind of like, I want to do a certain thing, and the game is forcing me to do another thing.
Oh, so no, this is what I was saying about it's stringing out a game that actually I feel is only not even half the length.
DLC, didn't we? We talked about 5-hour download.
DLC, I think what Alien...
we thought this would be a 5-hour download.
Alien should have been. I've not actually played it yet because I'm saving it as like a treat, if that's the right word, for the end. But it comes with like the remake of Alien. And I feel like if they'd released that game on PSN or Xbox, whatever, for a tenner, I would have been all over that. That sounds amazing for this game. I don't think it needs to be a full release for all the reasons we've mentioned. It blows the suspense because it has to involve too many things happening to you. And it gets a bit repetitive and this, that, and the other. But the actual premise of the game and the look and feel of it particularly, it's outstanding.
Well, I mean, there is a mission at the end where it was not right at the end. I don't know if you got up to actually, but there is a mission where you literally go from one room, which is over here, between these 3 or 4 rooms. You have to go around a corner to this other room over here, and there's a really long corridor. And literally,
the circular one that bends round.
No. It goes straight and then left. But literally, it will go. You start at this point. You'll have to do something here. Then do something over here.
And come back.
Then do something over here. Then do something back over here.
We talked about this, so I like that because for this very reason. I like it.
What?
I've got the floor. I've got the hand in the air. Hand in the air. I like this because in the movies and in this game and in the Alien lore, it's not a nice world. It's not a convenient world. Like gamers, as I don't like the word gamers, but as games players, we're so used to being spoon-fed. Like this is, you get to that bit, then you get to that bit, then you get to that bit. And this game, it's not convenient to humans because the space station isn't convenient to humans, and having an alien wandering around isn't.
The problem is in that bit. I know exactly the bit you're talking about because that pissed me off rotten. so basically, you're at point A. And it says, oh, you need to go to point B. You go to point B. Then it says, go to point A. You go to point A. Then it says, oh, hang on, there's something at point B you missed. I think I didn't miss it because basically what happens is there's a generator you have to start to open up a door in point A.
Yeah.
You can restoring power.
You can when you go the first time, the generator basically it's off. And I saw that and thought, well, I'm going to fucking come back. And
exactly.
I knew I'd have to come back. But you can't turn it on then. And I thought, in some games, like if this was Deus Ex, I could have turned it on and been on my way. Why have I got to piss about
Exactly.
I knew exactly what the game wanted me to do.
But this is what I mean. I think they're trying to lengthen it out to make it a full game.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And
yeah.
It's already relentlessly long, though.
But that's it.
Yeah.
But this is the biggest.
You didn't need to do that.
There are sections of the game like you're wearing a spacesuit, and I know there's that realism of you walking slowly. But seriously, did you have to make it that fucking long? Like I'm walking for miles in slow motion. Yeah, exactly. But there was a point where I kind of think, can I just press one button and go skip to the point where I need to get to? Because nothing bad is going to happen in this time. There's no tension. There's literally no reason for me to walk there.
I liked that bit because it was.
Well, it was a break.
I wasn't in the fucking corridor.
Which over on the planet side.
No, but that was what was nice about it. But then the actual point where you're going, oh right, now it would be nice if she could just walk quicker, even if it's unrealistic because she's out in space. I just want to get there.
But what is the deal with generators? I sound a bit like Jerry Seinfeld bit. What's the deal with generators?
What's the deal with generators?
Because so last night I booted up Outlast, right, which is kind of a similar premise, yeah.
Yeah, it's a scary game.
Creepy horror game where you got to like stealthily.
It made me turn it off. I was scared of it.
And do you know what? I've read about Outlast and it said in the first 5 minutes there's a jump scare, and I went in thinking I know about this. It's fine.
Yeah.
I still jumped out of my.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
But one of the first things you've got to do in Outlast is reboot the generators. Why is that a thing?
It's so they can put the lights on, so then they can turn them off again in a few minutes later to make it even scarier.
So in this game, there are several mission types. Reboot the generators, get a key card. So in that first proper mission, so the first time we see the alien proper, you've been sent off to find a key card to open the sort of medical bay, which you talk to a guy who says, "Oh, I think the doctor had it last." You go to the doctor's room, you hack into his computer, says, "Oh, doctor was last here." You go to where he last was. He hasn't got the key card, and then it's like, oh, this was his rounds for the day. So then you go, there's like loads of backtracking and just like.
You see, I had a good experience there because I hit the first room was the right room.
Really?
Yeah, so I was just like, hey, that was easy.
But this comes back to a recurring thing with games, which really fucks me off, is that someone says, "Can you do this?" and you're just like, where is the logic? If I was in that place, like me personally,
Well, that bit does have logic.
Fuck off! No way. I mean, like, I can see the glass. I'm gonna smash the fucking glass. I am tooled.
Andy, it's
fuck
space
up.
glass.
Space glass.
I don't give a fuck. I'm going through that glass. I'm like, there is a Black Friday TV. There is through there. I'm fucking having it.
Give it a blow.
On the plus side, the alien can't get through the glass either. So sometimes you can watch him in another room, go,
about
hello, and then he comes down the vent. And
Me and the alien have had a
it.
chat. You know, he's got some issues. We're going to talk them through. You know, and like I was talking to you about this. And when you kind of like, you meet up with a lot of people and they're like, yeah, let's stick together. And you're like, okay, we need to go and do this fucking another fetch quest. We're all going to stay here and you're going to do it on your own.
They do that. They do that quite a lot, yeah. The so-called marshals, they send like this woman out on she happens to be basically the equivalent of a human tank at times, but they didn't know that.
She's a human BJ, a female BJ Blazkowicz.
This is the reference to Wolfenstein for anyone who's very confused about what Andy is saying with his word of BJ.
I'm kind of over that.
So, by the way.
The whole game, people are yammering in your ear, go here, do this.
Yeah.
I just want, for once, I'd love someone to say...
You fucking do it.
Exactly, I've rewired the space station. Oh, cheers, thanks for that. It's like I was saying to you in GTA, every GTA game ever, if you have to go somewhere with someone, they always say, you drive.
Yeah.
Fuck off, I've been driving the whole game. Why don't you drive?
This is a whole different subject, I think, about where games are going in general. Because, yeah, you're right. We've played so many games now, and they're getting so complex now that at some point, surely someone's got to kick back on that and go, right, in this game, you say, right, you're going there, you're going there, and whether or not they're real people or not, they do it. Like, you know, so maybe,
totally. Like,
maybe there's the option for us
do?
all to play and do different fetch quests, which might be nice. Or maybe some of them would be AI driven, and you just go, right, you got that, you got that, you got that. But in games, they because the gameplay, they want us all to do every
that's
thing in it.
The thing with this game, isn't it? I mean, like, they've got the aliens on the loose, got a whole bloody city in the space. We've got this kind of nice, when you go to the police bit, the marshals bit, you're like, this is fine. This is fine for me. I mean, tell me, I'd be like, why am I going out again? I mean, like,
because you got to restart the generator.
Restart generator.
It's
the lights are still on, guys.
It's not even like there's a count. Like usually in the alien thing, there's like, oh, you've got an hour till the planet explodes or something. But like,
it's a countdown. It's Amazon lightning deals. You don't get a generator in the next half hour. you're going to miss out on,
So-
it's like there's no, you kind of, and I think that annoys me, this is a classic point, right? Okay, so...
It's a classic point right
This is
here,
a
boys.
Classic Lachlan point.
Don't take the piss out of me. So, like, there's this, I think, bit where you just come down from the Apollo business. We won't go too much into
The Apollo
plot
business.
spoilers. Yeah, but
Apollo Creed.
you've got you've got a save point here. You know you need to get to the save point. There's a little train here, and I'm looking at the train and I'm thinking, well, that's just a little train. I could climb over that in 2 seconds. It is like neck
Games
high.
never let you climb over things that
I've
are
got
easy
to
to
go
climb
over,
over. They just don't.
restart power, move the train. I'm just like,
Yeah.
this is bollocks,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
I mean, don't. Why am I doing that? Why?
Again, I do think that all that stuff comes down to the fact they're trying to make this a longer game than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And like
it's
you're saying
so-
about make it a DLC.
You kind of lift the winch to raise a
Yeah.
car so you can get to the little horn.
yeah. It's
What the
stupid.
fuck?
Yeah.
This is just
I think
so-
that somewhere along the development process of this game, someone went, we've got a brilliant idea for like an hour game. And that could have been a brilliant... everyone would have downloaded that bastard for a tenner.
But I don't.
But they made it into this... Sorry, I interrupted you.
Well, but there was even stuff like, okay,
Yeah,
the
way
generators,
further.
turning on the generator, tap X loads of times, tap X
Oh,
loads of times.
man.
Just press it once. You know what I'm trying to do?
That's
I'm
the
trying to turn
Jurassic
the
Park
fucking
thing. Push
generator.
the close,
Yeah,
push the
yeah,
close.
I didn't see the point. I'm thinking, all right, yeah. And then there's also the open the door bit. Oh, right, I've got to press that, now that and that, and then that.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, I
get the winch,
don't need to do that. You know what I'm doing.
Why are the
R2,
Joey
L2,
Deacons
and
doing
then
that as
right.
well? Why are the Joeys just like wandering about going, oh, I'm going to kill somebody? Like, fucking restore power. Do something
Well, 'cause
worthwhile with
they've
your
been
life.
took over as androids in Alien
No, because
Universe R by the evil computer.
There were
Duh.
still some good ones, weren't there? You could just say, can you go over there and restore power? Because the alien won't touch
There's
you,
one or
mate.
two of them, yeah.
But they
Yeah,
would
yeah.
inevitably die. They'd be like,
Well, no, they don't get ripped apart by the alien, though. Are they Joeys?
Yeah.
I was saying to Dave, like, one bit happened to me where the alien and one of the Joes was in the same room at the same time. Alien got trapped behind. I've got video footage of this. The alien got. I've got proof, everybody. The alien got trapped behind the Joe and was having an absolute like alien hissy fit
Yeah.
trying to get past him. And I just
Joe's
sat there
like-
just going. Then in the end, I had to move, and then it killed me because I couldn't. Nothing else.
Yeah.
It
So
basically, it broke.
You save that footage.
I have
So
saved that
we
footage.
can splice that into this.
Oh,
video.
yeah.
Maybe.
So basically,
I'm saying right now, not knowing because I've not previewed it and watched it, if it actually works.
All I'm saying is, if you're watching that right now, we're all totally naked.
Yeah.
This voiceover is coming to you from a naked man.
Actually, can I talk about my game-breaking bro?
You can talk about
my
your blah, blah, blah.
game-breaking bug. That on Mission 4, and I know this is a thing as well because it was on a forum. Did anyone else have any bugs, by the way, in this?
Only the alien.
Yeah, I had one where.
Hey-ho.
There's a game breaker.
That's 1.5 pints in, folks.
The game crashed on the first level.
Right, okay. Right, because I had a section, Mission 4 it was, you do all this stuff through the Angry Joes, get past all those. you get back, and you're supposed to get a lift, effectively, to Mission 5, but my lift was neither on or off. And for literally, I must have. This is part of the reason why I spent 30 hours on the games because at least 3 of them were on this fucking mission. But no, that was it. I couldn't press anything, and I was saving there, and I was creeping back through the Angry Joes there, saving up there, thinking, what am I doing wrong? What have I missed? What if? And you know, you can turn on those rewire things. You rewire stuff in the room. So I was thinking, oh right, I've rewired it so that basically the room, the lift doesn't work anymore. So I was going back looking for these things, and it got to the point where I thought, I don't even give a shit about the Angry Joes. Running through, literally running.
The Angry
Joes have now lost their scariness altogether because I'm just like, right.
It's like a Benny Hill with like a series of them chasing you.
Like that,
Fuck you, Angry Joes!
Guys, can you tell me why the lift isn't working? But then I looked at the forum and basically.
Yeah, but I can kill you. Okay.
I looked at the forum. Basically, it's a bug, and that I had to restart the entire mission again. Oh, fuck's sake! That almost stopped me doing the whole game because it had actually got to the point where I was thinking, I'm getting really tired of this game.
That was one of those emails that I was talking about that goes round where I felt really guilty because Dave sent an email around saying, anyone else had this problem? I was like, no, I'm fine.
My lift works.
Yeah,
I had,
my life's all right.
I had that problem with Wolfenstein, didn't I? Twice it crashed.
I think the broken games debate would be a whole nother podcast, given Unity and whatever else has happened. Everything's happened.
I think at its heart, this game, there's a really good.
This sounds like a conclusion.
It does.
Yeah,
it's hard.
have you got something to be, Andy?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Your Tinder's.
Look, don't share details of my personal life. I think Creative Assembly have done a lot of good stuff here. I think the motion capture is really great. I mean, they've got their own studio, and you can really tell. I think the actual kind of like the characters
It's
look
authentically,
lovely.
it's
It
amazing
feels
for that
great.
reason,
I mean,
yeah.
the whole like art style. For me, there was a thing on one of the game sites that said this is the boldest game.
Well, IGN
of the
slagged. If
year.
you talk about the IGN thing, they slagged it in their review pretty
Yeah.
much. Well, they did. Well, yeah, okay, maybe not so much. But they didn't give it a great score,
They gave it one of the lowest.
and they didn't
Yeah.
like it. And yet somehow then a few weeks later they went, actually,
It's
Alien's one of the
bravest game.
best games.
Well,
you'll
no, they said,
probably ever play.
to be fair, on they did say the bravest game,
Yeah.
and I think
But I don't
like
think it's brave enough.
I don't. Well,
I don't think it's brave
I
enough.
agree. And like, when
No.
they said bravest, and actually I've got a quote from a listener.
Read it.
I'll read it in a second.
Surely you mean the listener.
From the listener.
We have a quote from Bob.
But there is a point about it.
Crazy Bob.
Saying, no,
Is he
but
wearing
saying,
trousers?
saying it being brave, though, I
Diaper
kind
Bob.
of think like the brave. It's only brave in the sense that it's not a first-person shooter. I don't think it's brave in many other senses.
To be
of it.
fair, when you think about like Aliens, Colonial Marines, they couldn't have.
Oh my god.
Everyone was so pissed off with that game. I feel like they couldn't have got this wrong.
Yeah.
They went
Yeah.
the total opposite way with it.
I think going survival horror is the right route for Alien. It's
Yeah.
definitely not so Aliens vs Predator, if you remember many years ago, many moons ago when that came out, that was a great game. You could be the Predator, you could be Alien, you could be a Marine.
You talk about the PC game.
Yeah, and there's been a few of those, and that was really great because it showed the alien, and you could be the alien, which was a really exciting thing. And the alien was actually quite vulnerable in that state, especially when it was like a younger thing. Because you started off as the face hugger and all this stuff, and then all the games started going the way you are the Marine now, and the aliens just aren't frightening them because you're just gunning them down.
Do you reckon?
I'm
What, on Alien
choking
vs
on beer.
Predator?
No. I mean, as the like Alien Colonial Marines and some other ones like
Oh,
that.
sorry, I was going to say, because Alien vs Predator, I
Yeah.
remember being the Marine thinking, this is fucking terrifying. And I actually remember thinking they got that done really well.
And they did on that game, that was good. But then like the Clone Marine thing was a disaster. But then the Alien Isolation game it takes it the other way, so you're like a survivor again, like Ripley on the original movies the original movie. And I think that is a pretty awesome way for the series to go. And I confess I've not actually finished the game yet. I'm on mission. I know, sorry. I went away on holiday. I did have a holiday. I'm behind the times, boys.
I haven't
But
finished it either.
what I'm going to say is, surprisingly, even though we seem to have slated the game in large amount in this, I'm going to finish it. And I've got home. I've got Far Cry 4, a bunch of other games that are supposedly better, and yet I'm not playing them. I'm playing Alien, and not just because of the podcast, because I'm actually enjoying going through it.
But it could have been so much better. I think if they'd actually just gone, I think they've sort of nodded to too many tropes of action games. Really, they've gone, okay, this is kind of elements of kind of a stealthy action game, a Splinter Cell, or this is a kind of and they didn't need to do that. They didn't. I don't think they needed to do that. They needed to create an experience where you really are kind of tense all the time. And like you've played The Walking Dead, you played and actually the tension comes in like your choices having real ramifications, and whether that was crafting or whether that was a conversation with a survivor or something like that, you could build that tension another way. This here, I mean, I didn't feel tense when the alien was around. I just felt like, oh my god, you're so annoying. Why don't you fuck off?
So you think that you think it would? What they should have done is basically
I think
the character should have been better. So therefore you care about them, and therefore at some point you might have to choose one or the other dying and things like that, like in Walking Dead.
I think Andy's totally on point. The game's firstly, it's way too long. It's way too long.
Yeah.
Like if it could have been sort of Portal 2 length, that would have been.
I genuinely think
fantastic.
that at some point it was a shorter game, maybe a download only game, and then someone somewhere in the
they said
studio
we've
went,
spent so
actually,
much fucking money developing
the
this.
Colonial Marines were a disaster. We need to get something out that's got Alien on it, and it's going to be a big game. We need to sell it for 50 quid. I think that's what happened.
But like Andy
maybe
says,
not.
like I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. I think if there had been sort of like a newt or something like that, like in the game,
Humanizes.
I knew we wouldn't get through this podcast without someone quoting that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, well done. But that would have made me sort of more engaged in the game. And at one point, I don't know how spoiler heavy we're going.
Not massive, but you can say if you hated something and at what period in the game.
At one point, there's a guy who's basically he basically tries to. It's not a spoiler actually. He tries to destroy the space station. That's his aim.
In an Alien game.
Yeah.
Oh, in an Alien thing? No way.
Because his reasoning is these things should not spread. If we destroy the space station, we can get rid of them.
Yeah.
And Faye Ripley's like, look.
The whole planet of them just down there.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But Faye,
She's like, well, what about loose women?
She's like, have you not seen the videos?
I've got my cold feet to think about.
Is she on loose women? I think
Probably. She seems like a loose woman. But anyway, so Faye,
sounds about right.
Faye Ripley's like, no, I've got to survive. And you think, actually, at this point, just kill yourself.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
aliens spread. I can put the game down, go to bed. Brilliant. But it just carries on, and she basically makes it so the guy who's trying to destroy the space station with the aliens on, it doesn't happen. And you kind of think,
well, do you know, there was a point towards the end of the game. I thought, I'm not a suicidal person, but
Jesus Christ!
Confessions.
But
podcast exclusive.
Yeah. Just say no, guys.
In the right circumstances.
I'm in a good place right now. But
Just wait till Christmas comes around.
but if I was in her situation, I'd just think, that's it, I'm done. I don't need to hide from this. I've got a pipe bomb. I'll let this go off in my face.
Also,
I just say,
You're going to pipe bomb
A pipe bomb you made from small things and dotted around the station.
yeah, but there wasn't anyone. I was thinking, well, how many of us are there? There's only like a few of us on this ship. Let's all just go down, because I mean, it's pretty tragic, I know. But you know, what have we got to live for? My mum's dead. All that kind of stuff, and I think this Who?
Well, you talking about your mum?
my mum's
Ellen Ripley is still alive in this scenario, isn't she? She's just frozen in.
Is she?
Carbonite.
Yeah, in carbonite, exactly.
Stasis.
With Han Solo. Yeah.
But she died in Alien,
References.
Alien 3.
Yeah.
But then she's resurrected in Alien Resurrection.
So
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So this Alien, then this is 15 years after Alien. Ripley,
So she's probably in cryosleep at this
Ripley
point.
floats in space for 57 years. I know, so I watched it.
like a space floater.
Because in Aliens, with an S, there's you see a picture of Amanda Ripley, don't you?
Yeah, she's on a woman. And in fact, in that film, the photo of Amanda Ripley is Sigourney Weaver's mum.
Factoid.
Thank you, IMDb.
Jacktoid.
Jacktoid. That'll do.
Jacked off.
I want to finish by talking about two small things. I know we've kind of done a conclusion there, but everyone's fucking sweaty in this game. Did you see in the cutscenes everyone's really sweaty? Did that annoy anyone else?
The cutscenes, I remember like back when I was a lad, when everything was black and white, the cutscenes in the game were like really exciting because they looked awesome. In this game, I thought it looked worse than the.
Yeah,
They're really jerky.
Yeah.
And
Is that just your TV?
Actually,
set?
also, did
yeah, let's talk about my TV settings for an hour.
You know when that
Only
guy
someone
who
reviewed
ends up being the
TV.
only guy left in the marshal office starts conducting what you do? When he was speaking, his mouth didn't move. Did anyone else?
None of them mouths move. Yeah, none of the figures' mouths move.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Because there's the guy in the cell, and I was like looking at him, going like Marlon.
Oh yeah, no, that's it.
He was like.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like
why are you talking to me with no? I also want to talk about the scanner because the scanner was awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool.
The beepy beep. I like the way in my PS4. Not that other consoles are available.
Yeah.
It beeps out the thing, which was awesome. I like that in the PS4.
I think the whole kind of like all the bits and pieces are really good. Like the presentation is really. I really love the presentation. Like just as the retro feel and like the little touches. I think. So much of this is really good, and so much of this. I mean, we're getting on to the quit or continue, aren't we? Next?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it.
Well, hang on, just before we do that.
Oh, one more thing. Oh, yeah, we're going to read something.
Sorry.
No. Well,
Angry Bob.
But Dave, so
Dear Jim.
I think Dave was the only person who played it with a PS4 camera.
That's right. Oh yes. Yeah. So yeah, the PS4 camera thing, and I'm guessing Xbox Connect.
Is this because you like to see a picture of yourself at the same time?
No. Well, you can't see yourself. You can't see yourself. This is so I can sort of do my show to all the other PS4 owners.
Do you have a Twitch account? You want to?
No. I just watch other people. So. No, I don't do that. So yeah, no.
We will do though. We will do, listeners.
The PS4 camera is actually, I think, surprisingly good. I mean, it's not perfect, but I found myself, you know, when you get these sort of gimmicks where, you know, it replaces a button, the camera replaces a button, you think, well, I'll just use the button, it's so much easier. I did find myself doing the peeking with the camera.
So
and with it just completely unconsciously doing it. Well, no, you press the peek button, and rather than using the stick, you sort of lean around.
That's awesome.
But it is.
Cool.
I
I've
tell
got
you
one.
what,
It's still in the box.
it actually worked. It works surprisingly well. I mean, I wasn't playing it in the dark. I think the PS4 camera probably has problems in the dark, whereas I think the Kinect can probably deal with it in the dark, all that kind of stuff. But it did. There was an element of that kind of. I just felt like naturally that was the thing I was doing.
The alien
I've never got that.
Is that if
so
you make a noise,
apparently
if
it can hear you. I've got to say I didn't really test that out. Because again I was playing with headphones. There was no one else in the room. I mean, there were times where my partner would come in the room and I was like, "Fucking shut up! The alien's right there. Shh, sit down."
I bet she loved that.
No, she did actually. I tell you what, that was something. She came in. She's not into games, but she started getting a bit scared about the whole thing. She was like, "Oh, the alien's there." I thought, yes, you're well into this already. She fucking
my missus was the same. She quite enjoyed it. Actually, she played the first 2 hours of the game before the alien turned up because she was getting really into it.
Yeah.
So I don't think the microphone thing would work for me because every time the alien turned up, I just went, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Just gone, been on me instantly.
Not you again.
That would be good if a second player could make the alien come up to you every now and again and just make you jump. Or one of the working Joes. Hello, Jack. That would be good.
That would have been
I'm
creepy.
a working Joe.
But
So
I asked because my wife sat through me with like most of my time playing this game, and I said, "Do you think I enjoyed this game, having watched me play it?" She said, "No." So I was just so frustrated and angry for most of the game, and obviously came across. So
Did you enjoy this game? No.
I spent most of the time in our spare room playing this game, so I didn't enjoy it that much either. But I say I am literally.
I'm going to burn.
I'm going to finish the game. I've reviewed many a game in my time, and a lot of them you don't quite get to the end of, and then you don't give a damn once the review's posted or whatever. But this one,
it has a certain charm about it, and I think that's what I said earlier was like it has that so many quit elements, so many continue elements that actually I could go around this table right now and say quit or continue. I think you'd all say the same thing. It is a continue.
By the way, we're eradicating the on the fence option. So before
Really? Holy
I think
well,
we
for
should
me, it's a continue.
exclusive.
this changes everything.
But like if you're on the fence, it seems a bit pointless for something called quit or
every
continue.
week, Mike just makes the rules.
Yeah.
Like,
I do it on
like
camera
Kim
as well.
Jong-un. He's like, he rolls over us. Wah, you can't do that.
Next week we're all wearing Pikmin costumes.
Go fuck yourself with that. But like, for me, there are so many quit options. There's so many like continue aspects of this. But ultimately, I think it is a continue because to actually experience it, if you're an Alien fan.
This is it, and I am, so I can only talk about it from that perspective.
If you're an Alien fan and you really want to experience a game which is actually really kind of like lovingly devoted to the franchise, actually quite ridiculously and unreasonably at times, I think this game is it really, and especially when you consider where we're coming from, Colonial Marines. It's like coming from Milton Keynes to sort of Florence. You know, we're going from the absolute worst to I've never been
Just
Poor old Milton Keynes. BJ Blazkowicz is there, sat in his house in Milton Keynes,
guys.
his concrete bunker.
Actually, do you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, shall I go next? Because I also think it's a continue for all the things that Andy mentioned, and because it's the most authentic, as I've said it before, it's the most authentic experience in the Alien universe we're ever probably going to get.
Yeah, on a game.
So it's a continue for anyone who gives a damn about the Alien franchise. Basically, it's got flaws and you need to be aware of them. But I don't think it'll be. I would say don't pay more than 25 quid for it.
Oh god,
no, definitely not.
But if you can get it for anywhere in the region of 25 and less, and it's on PSN right now. For
you
25,
will have a good.
get it.
You'll enjoy it. I think you really will enjoy it.
Over to you guys.
Okay, well, I would say you should probably pay £22.50 for this game because that's what I sold it for on Amazon. So the person who bought my copy on Amazon, I'm sending it right off.
Did you sign it before you sent it out?
I've got a promo in it.
So you've sold it already? You're never going to go... Well, obviously you're never going to go back.
Do you know what? I didn't even bother with... So I got the Nostromo edition.
You moved quite quickly.
Oh, yeah, I've got to go on to the next... But, so I got the Nostromo
So your
edition.
child can eat.
Exactly, yeah. So, which has got the DLC code. I'm not going to bother with the DLC code. I've had my fill. I've played so much of this game. I've just had enough. So, but having said that, I feel like we've slagged it off for the last hour. But even in spite of that,
we haven't, and we've both said we'd like it.
I don't think we have.
Even in spite of that, I'm going to say it's a continue. It's a continue if you're a fan of the Aliens universe.
Exactly.
If you're not, don't bother with it because there's nothing here.
Also, if you're a fan of games that make you go no every now and again, then it's for you.
If you don't like Alien, please don't play this game.
I feel like it's the most legitimate Alien experience you could have, possibly even including the film.
With your clothes on.
with your spacesuit on, but it's not necessarily a fun game.
No.
But it's a great experience. So
it's not a fun game.
It's not designed to be fun, I suppose, because you've been hunted by things all the way through.
Not a deal,
it's like it's a series of horrible things that happen, and then it ends, I guess.
Yeah.
And you're just along for the ride, really, aren't you? But with a lot of fetch and carry quests along the way.
You fall over in the shower.
Go for it.
Feel
Right,
exhilarated.
okay. Well, hearing your guys' opinion makes me want to change mine a bit, but it's a quit from me. I think
that's all right.
Right, okay. I agree. The thing is, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I agree. It's
Prepare the Wicker Man.
guys, I agree with everything you're saying. Right, no, I agree. If you're an Alien fan, it's perfect. I mean, the atmosphere is amazing. The tension is amazing. And if they'd made the game 10 hours long, I actually, even if I paid full price, I'd be coming away from the game going, fuck, I want more of that. But I came away from the game thinking, the same with the DLC, I don't want to play it anymore. I don't want to play it. I was bored at the end, I was annoyed at the end because I think and it just started emphasising how little there was in the game that was actually enjoyable, because you'd go from one mission to the next mission where you'd be turning on the next generator, collecting the next key card, and I just thought, This isn't the thing anymore. All I'm doing is I'm seeing a new. It's an ordeal, and for me that made the game not enjoyable. And I think if you'd hired the game for the night, and maybe you even had a few mates over, and you had a bit of a laugh playing this game on your own, like watching a single player. But no, even if you hired the game, you could hire that game.
Remind me not to come down for a Saturday night.
Wild days.
Come on, I've got this awesome game which I'm going to play whilst you watch.
I've got some Pringles. You can watch me there. No, but it was
Dave's band just rocking out.
That would be a night. But no, there was that kind of I just kind of think I got to the point where I thought I have not really enjoyed this game. I think if I'd hired it and played it for maybe a night or two, and you've got that kind of tension aspect and stuff like that, and I think us using a fantastic analogy, it's basically like hearing a great joke. You hear a fantastic joke, it's really funny, but then you keep hearing the same joke, and it withers away, and it becomes not funny, it becomes annoying. And I reckon if I leave this a while, I could come back to it, play that DLC, and it would be amazing again. But because I've just played God knows how many hours of this game, the tension's now gone. It's just become annoying, and for me that makes that's it. And I think that makes the game a quit. And that's probably a bad reason to make it a quit, because there's still a great game in it. I just think it's too long. And I think I would advise just hire the game, don't buy it, because
actually you've convinced me.
You don't need to.
I'm not going to change my vote to quit exactly, but I'm going to say with the prerequisite that you have to be an Alien fan. And God, I don't know. You shouldn't pay that much for it, like you say. You should rent it. Maybe.
That's it. I mean, I am.
Although it's really long, so you have to rent it for bloody long time.
I am a fan. I am a fan of the Alien films. I think Alien films have done very well. And this again, this is for the Alien game that people were looking for. Like this is how they advertised it as. I think that's right. This is the Alien game that I think people were looking for. But it's just too long, and there's not enough in it. There's not enough.
It is relentless.
We do call ourselves the site that pokes a finger in the eye of games that waste your time, and it does waste your time.
That's exactly it. It does.
I'm going to change my vote to quit.
Yeah. Look at that.
I'm going to say continue, but with a big caveat.
Dave's changed my mind. What can I say?
So we've got two quits, two continue.
Yeah.
So where does that leave you?
I haven't finished my argument, guys.
I was hoping someone else would change theirs too, and then it would be like this massive thing.
I think just where our standards lie and what would make it a quit, because I kind of think if I'd say if I enjoyed it, I don't even think I enjoyed it as a game. I felt like there was a point. Actually, no, we were talking earlier, and there was a point where I felt like this doesn't feel like a game. It just feels like a kind of I'm doing chores around the place.
It feels like a team building exercise.
It's like a two-way.
That's it.
It's like we're building a fucking raft.
And actually,
out of a fucking paper cup and a fucking straw.
The point about it like wasting my time, I felt like it was almost like the devs of this game were like laughing at me, mate, honestly, if you've got 30 hours to plough into this, you are a fucking dick. And so I thought, right, okay, I have got 30 hours to plough into this, and yes, I am a fucking dick.
What time is it now? I'll see you in about 3 days.
But no, I think, and on the bravery aspect, 100%, I'd rather people were making games like this than making another Call of Duty, because at least there's something in this that I can go, well, that's a bit different, and that's taken me out. That's a different experience. That's nice.
Interesting.
It's mildly interesting. Again, it's still worth playing, but I still wouldn't say it's a continue. I'd say it's a quit, because you don't waste your money on it.
Next, I'll tell you what I'm going to do next. The game that I originally wanted to do before you guys put me through. 12, 15 hours.
They put me on the spot.
12, 15 hours of pain. I want to do Valiant Hearts. And I think we are now have come around to my way of thinking. It takes a while, but eventually we agree that I am right.
You know why I've come around to your way of thinking? Because it costs £5 at the moment, which is very nice.
Yeah, no, that was it for me.
Cheap
Really. It was cheap, really. It was.
But also, it's supposed to be very good, and it is 100 years since the Great War and all that.
Water it down. You know, like this is a valiant decision.
A valiant, nice. Who's a professional writer in the room? Actually, 3 of us thinking about it. But anyway. So we should probably explain what this game is.
Yeah.
For anyone out there who doesn't know. So it's a game. It's called Valiant Hearts.
We all play it. This is the point where the podcast goes rapidly downhill.
No, so it's basically an adventure game. It's sort of like a.
Is it Telltale's-esque, would you say?
I think it is, yeah.
Almost.
It's point and click, isn't it?
I would say it's point and click, but you don't have like a massive inventory. It's more like, did anyone play Double Fine to the Cave?
I did.
So it's basically that kind of thing. So you can only hold one object at a time. So it's not like you've got a massive list of objects you can use. It's quite straightforward. But it's, like you say, the premise is basically based on First World War. So I would say if you've played this game, you've got any thoughts about it, let us know.
Hashtag.
So we've got so few followers, you're almost guaranteed to come to the show.
The Twitter handle we should point out. We should point out our own. We should also point out. So Quit or Continue has @QuitOrContinue. It's original.
Yep.
I am at Mike. Well, I bet that was a big pound on my microphone. Then I got a lot of gusto to my.
I am Mike.
Donkey Kong.
I am Mike.
I am Mike G. I am Mike Plant GC. You are at Media Scribbles.
Media Scribbles. It's a hybrid account, so I talk about various different things. So don't turn off straight away. I'm not talking about games. Let's talk about TVs.
Talk about Tinder. You are.
I'm not going to talk about Tinder.
I'm at Q or C Jack. Quack Jack.
And I'm at TLD Dave.
So you can basically, if you have an argument with what we've said about Alien Isolation, you can address it to any of us, and we will probably get back to you.
I think if anyone's going to argue, it's going to be probably about the fact that I said quit, because I got the.
Well, so did I in the end, because you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Twisted my arm.
Yeah.
Tweet Dave.
Like you press L2, R2, and then R.
That's what I was talking about.
You are not wrong.
That guy is a tool.
Let's finish by saying this was Quit or Continue, and that was Alien Isolation.